I'm here with Matthias of Harakiri For The Sky to talk about their latest offering, Scorched Earth, out January 24th on AOP Records. It's been a long time since I've seen you. Actually, the last time I saw you was in Toronto at the Velvet Underground.
Yes, exactly. It was like more than 1 year ago, I think.
Yeah, and
What
now
is
you
it?
guys are coming back and
May?
playing at the same venue.
Yes, is it the same venue again?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a nice one. Yes.
yeah, you guys are playing at the same venue with Swallow
Well,
the
it's
Sun in Ghost Bath. It's going to be a great lineup, by the way.
yeah, it's like with the Ghost Bath guys, it's always fun. And Swallow the Sun, I don't know the guys yet, but I like the music a lot, so it's gonna be a good one.
Oh, the guys, I can tell you, good friends with them. They're super nice people, easy to get along with. Yeah, I don't think you guys are gonna have any issues. I think it's gonna be a very bro-like tour. Everybody getting along
Wonderful.
and
No,
having
no,
a good
I'm
time.
not expecting any issues. Like, seeing, I only heard good things.
Yeah, yeah, no, they're
It'll
solid,
be a good time.
solid dudes, solid dudes. So let's talk about Scorched Earth. But before we talk about Scorched Earth, we need to go back a little bit because the previous record that you guys released, it reached number 4 in the German charts. Uh, so what are your expectations for this one? Number one?
No, there are no expectations, and it's just black metal. It's a subgenre, you know. It's as long as the people like the music, I don't care which chart position it gets. And yeah, let's see. You know, it always depends, like what kind of records are released this week. You know, there are many different factors that play with it, but yeah, let's see. No expectations, then you cannot get disappointed.
Lowering the bar allows you to
Yeah,
not,
yeah, yeah.
removing the bar altogether, it's even better.
Yes, no, 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 it's yeah. A chart position is not the most important thing. I'm happy with the album. I don't know, I don't care where it charts. And if the people like the album, then I'm happy, and that's all that matters.
Well, let me tell you this about the record. I think this is the best sounding album you guys have ever released.
Thank you so much, man. Yeah, we worked with a different recording engineer this time, tried something new, and I think the sound kind of fits. I think it's quite organic, but still, you know, has a bit of a punch and works well with the songs. And I'm very happy you like it.
Yeah, the album has really great sound. I loved the sound that you guys put together, and then the other aspect is JJ's vocal delivery is so unhinged at times, and to have a sound that's so clear, so crisp, so I don't know. I'm running out of adjectives here, but to have such clean sound, and then to have his vocal performance uh, create this dissonance between the two, I thought it was the winning formula for the entire record.
Yeah, like this time, we did something a little bit different. Like we did all the like fitting all the syllables and everything on the grooves beforehand. Like sat there and like really checked everything out so it kind of fits the groove. And it was not spontaneous that he just somehow yelled on top of it, so he could focus more on being unhinged and feel the lyrics and everything. I think it has a bit more variety, and I'm very happy with the way he performed the vocals. Right, it's less monotonous. It has more of different. Like he goes up. Sometimes he gets a bit more melodic, and I think he did very well. Your son didn't like it, I know.
No, my son is not a fan. My son, it's I've talked to a few other people who I'm friends with and that saw that video, and they're like, it's an acquired taste. And I'm like, I acquire the taste really quickly. It didn't take me that long to
Yeah,
acquire it.
of course it's acquired. Now you have this like all this deathcore stuff. Like it's all about technique, and then it's so low and 15 different kinds of like growling techniques. And JJ is just, straight from the heart. He just yells in there and how he feels. And it's maybe not everyone's cup of tea, but I think it's a very honest vocal performance. And so I like it a lot. I'm
I
very
like
happy
it.
with
I
what
liked
he
it
did.
as well, and I thought having that separation of how clear the sound is and how sometimes unclear his delivery is, with that more emotional side of things, it's almost felt like the album sonically was more controlled, It was more centered, and then his vocal performance is not controlled, is more organic. So the difference between these two creates such an interesting experience throughout the entire album. I think that is the core of the record.
Yeah, I think it's pretty nice because we have like the sound is like it's kind of clean, like everything has its place in there. It's not that muddy, but still kind of harsh. Like we didn't use any sample replacements on the drums, kept it like very natural, which is only possible because Cream is such a good drummer and he did a great job on it, in my opinion. And yeah, the guitar sounds like we tried some new things and yeah, as you said, it left a bit more space for him to um, bring a bit more variety into it. So I think that's a good development.
Yeah, for sure. I really enjoyed it. Now, when you look at the final product, is the final product a complete representation of the vision that you had for the album when it all started?
It is indeed. I mean, I didn't have like an exact sound in my mind, but I wanted wanted really like kind of natural drums and a bit of like melodic death metal style rhythm guitars because that's like where I started with like 9 years old. In Flames was my first band, and so kind of like this like kind of meaty rhythm guitars, like without like being too harsh, having too much distortion. And I think we found like a good balance with it. Left enough space for some more like Rhodes piano and piano tracks and everything, so that it's like not overwhelming, but still punchy.
When you're putting a record like this together and you decide to have some collaborations on the album, is there a reason for it? Did the songs needed something? Did you wanted to work with some artists? How did you approach that?
Yeah, for us, we are very big on nostalgia. Like JJ and I, before we formed the band, we were like always sitting at this place listening to vinyls, and Austere was one of the bands that kind of inspired us, to form this band. And now, as we get to know Tim, we toured in Australia together, and he's a fantastic guy. So we thought, why not have him on one of the songs? Because his music influenced us like in a great deal, and it would be a nice thing to have him participate. And the thing with Patrick from Groza was actually on the tour last year. We were in the nightliner. You have this back lounge, drinking beers, listening to music. Then Nirvana came on, and he was singing along. Like first time I heard his clean voice, and I was like, "What the fuck? That's good. I need this on a track." Because in his band, he's just always screaming and yelling and everything. That was the first time I heard like his clean voice, and I was sold instantly and said, "I need this on one of our tracks."
I thought it
And
was really interesting because you guys were on one of his tracks on their latest record that came out last year, and now he's on one of your tracks. So there seems to be a nice little collaboration going back and forth.
yes, like he's a close friend of ours. He also sometimes helped out on the bass guitar when Radek, our bass player, like couldn't make it to some of the shows. And yeah, the Groza boys are close friends. Like we really grew close on the tour together, and definitely it's the Groza song where JJ and I participated is has a very sad background because their bass player like he fell really sick like shortly after a tour. He got diagnosed with leukemia and unfortunately passed away last year in end of the year. So that was kind of our like tribute and homage to him to yeah because it was such a sudden deterioration and nobody expected that and like we lost him like in such a short time, so felt right to do it that way. So and with Patrick on our song, why not work with your close friends?
Exactly, exactly. By the way, I thought that Groza album last year was one of the best albums of the year when it comes to black metal, and
Oh,
that
it's great.
song
Yeah, I love it
was,
too.
yeah, that song was in my top 30 songs of the year. That's how I think it's the best track on the record, in my opinion.
Yeah, I also like it. I mean, all the tracks have their moments, but it's also my favorite. I have to agree.
And not just because you're in it. I just think it's a really great sounding track. I just really enjoy
Yeah,
the
it's like
song.
a fantastic, clean melodies, everything. Like the whole build up, it's just great atmosphere and just works. And in the end, it has just like really harsh like explosions, and it's just a great track. Very well done.
We mentioned a little bit of JJ. When you're putting these songs together, how much into the songwriting process do you take in consideration what he can deliver then vocally on the track?
And it's like now, we make music together since like how long now? Like 13 years. And you get to know each other and know how he writes his lyrics, how to leave some space, and like how long like usually his vocal parts are, and where to like use a bit less melodies and how to develop. And like he always has like his little book, and he writes down like little fragments for lyrics. And when I deliver the pre-production to him, then he knows how long he can write the lyrics, and then it all comes together kind of. So we kind of work separately, and then at the end we merge it somehow and make it work.
And make it work. And another interesting track on this record was your Radiohead cover. I mean, interesting choice. I was not expecting that song, that Radiohead
Ooh,
cover, but dude, it's I hate to say it, but it's really well done. Even for me,
thank
I'm
you
not a
so
huge
much.
Radiohead fan, but damn, I really enjoyed that cover.
Yeah, it's like a Radiohead, was a part of my youth, and all our covers. Like I think I mentioned that in the last interview already. We don't want to do black metal covers of black metal songs, and just there are so many great tracks with like melancholic melodies where the lyrics also fit kind of the style of our band, and if you can reinterpret it and make it like make a tribute like with your own sound, I think it's way more interesting, and especially if it's songs that like we used to listen to in our youth, then makes it nostalgia is a very important part for us. So
I can see that. I can
yeah,
see that.
so
When the album comes out, there's I don't know if you're familiar, but in North America we have Liquid Metal. It's a satellite radio station that plays metal all day, and they have a thing called the Corridor of Covers where they play like cover songs. I'm as soon as the album comes out, I'm gonna tag those guys and send them a link to this song because I think it's gonna be one of the best cover songs of 2025, and they need to play it on that freaking radio show.
oh man, thank you so much. Like, you're flattering me.
Like you guys need to get some attention to that. The work you guys did on that song is absolutely phenomenal.
I'm really glad you like it, and it's one of the few songs that you can actually play in a radio station because everything else is too long. Like we always get the questions like, can we just do an edit and shorten it? And it's like, no, don't
Don't
fucking
fuck up my
fight
song.
my songs and rather not play it. There's a point why it's long, it needs to develop. And
Actually,
rather not play.
that takes me to my next point. We're living in a time of short attention span. Nobody has more than a couple of minutes paying attention to stuff, especially kids. I can tell it with my son. Like his attention span is limited. But you guys keep releasing not only long songs but like long records. How do you work a balance between, creating songs that can be played out and then still having your creativity not be affected by it? Do you care?
No, the song is as long as it needs to be, and I'm not gonna adapt to this fucking sickness of TikTok generation bullshit. I hate that, And no, if it's not possible to have an attention span of 8 minutes or so, then just leave it and listen to some radio friendly music. If it's that too much to ask, then that you cannot help people anymore. And the album is too long. Like the last one was really long. This one is like 1 hour. I think it's a pretty normal playtime. It's not a like a concept album that you have to listen from beginning to the end. Like if your attention span is too short, or you have to take a pee pee break or so, then just stop it in between and maybe continue with the next song later, like when you gathered your attention again after watching some TikTok videos or some shit. Man. I hate this app. I think it's the worst thing that can happen to the youth. It's horrible.
I think social media in general
Yeah.
has done nothing but I mean there's some goods, but I think the bads kind of outweigh the goods.
Yeah, it's like it changed a lot. Like, you get like half of it is advertisement, and like if you want to do band promotion, you have to pay and all the algorithms and this and that and like I'm also getting older and still I catch myself in the morning like opening the phone and then you do this doom scrolling and then half an hour of your day is fucking wasted for nonsense like that. And yeah, I also catch myself doing that and I think it's not a healthy thing to do.
No, because you become dependent of it. You need that dopamine
Absolutely.
hit that it comes from it. And it's funny that you say that because for me, I'm an album listener. I like to listen to a record from start to finish. I like to enjoy the experience that the album gives me. And then maybe after a bunch of listens, I will listen perhaps more to my favorite songs, but I'm still someone who really wants to enjoy a record uh as a record. And there's not many of me. And when I do my reviews, I always give attention to how the album flows. You don't know how many people comment or send me message saying, "What the fuck are you talking about? You can just play this one song here, this one song there." And I'm like, "Yeah, but if you bought the record, aren't you gonna listen to the record?"
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, many bands just release like tracks by themselves and don't do proper records anymore or an EP because it's apparently not worth it anymore to do a whole record because when some labels just do digital releases in general and maybe I'm that old. I enjoy having like a vinyl or a CD in my hand with a proper artwork and of course, like I also use Spotify, and if there is new music out, then I first check it out there because if you pay 50 euros for a vinyl, then I want to check out the music before I buy it
Mhm.
because I cannot buy like 10 releases every week, just hoping it will be good. But like especially with vinyls where you cannot skip or you cannot just change all the time, it's a bit of therapy to not uh, you know, um, skip parts of the songs or interrupt it. That you at least have to listen to half or a quarter of an album then and take your time, sit down and maybe enjoy it. So I think that can be very therapeutic as well. And
Yeah,
that's a nice thing.
I agree with you on that. I'm from that generation that I would go get either a vinyl or a CD, come home and I would open up, read the booklet, see who the band is thanking, who's on the thank you notes, because sometimes you discover new bands that way. That smell of that booklet, I don't know, it's something that it's lost on people now.
Yeah, exactly. Like I had the same thing, like back in school, with the little bit of pocket money I had, like in my hometown in Salzburg, there was like about one metal show every month, and then I went to the store, like checked out all the CDs. You had like the CD players there, and I listened to it, and then I bought the favorite one where the pocket money was enough for it. Then went to the show, so I knew the songs, and I really enjoyed it. And it's a special feel. It's a completely different thing than having like everything on your small phone and everything accessible. And you naturally spend more time with a record if you cannot just like have like 2 million songs ready on your
Yeah,
phone.
you had to get your money's
Yeah,
worth.
like look at this. We're complaining about the availability of so much music and so much nagging.
I think it shows our age. You mentioned artwork. How was the artwork for this album? What was the thought process? Did you give the artist freedom?
Yeah, we have like certain ideas and then let the artists do their work. Like the concept of it, that we write it down, then we get a sketch, and then we try to go from there together. And the artwork this time, like Bruno from Brazil, friend of ours, that did some t-shirt designs before already. And in March, I went to Brazil to Sao Paulo with my wife, and I went to his tattoo studio and did my tattoo there. And then we talked about it, the possibility that he does the whole artwork. And yeah, now he did it. I'm very happy with it. He's a fantastic artist. And yeah, we have this animal topics always since the beginning. It kind of is a tradition. And we had like no new animal that was fitting like the kind of doomsday scorched earth theme. So like we have this movie we watched as kids. It's Watership Down, I think in English, like where all the animals are escaping from the woods and we had the idea of the burning wood where all the animals are running out, and they thought, why not use all those animals we had on the previous covers? So
Yeah,
that
yeah.
a bit of brainstorming, and that's what we ended up with. And,
I think it looks phenomenal. And as far as merch is concerned, you better bring a lot of merch to North America on this upcoming North American tour.
oh, we will.
Because you know people are going to be supporting you guys. People are going to be buying stuff.
Oh, I really hope. Yeah, we need to finance the tour as well. Like touring the US is very costly for European bands.
More so
So
now than even before.
every support is appreciated. Like everything, like guarantees are way lower than the visas, the flights, uh, taxes, whatever. Tour buses are way more expensive. Yeah. Then they want to have a merge cut in many venues, and and then this gets cut, and then you end up with like a tiny percentage, and somehow don't want to lose money, of course. But yeah, it's tough territory. But why not? We do what we love, and not we're not in for the money.
Well, you're in the wrong genre if you were in for the money.
Yes, exactly.
That is for sure.
Exactly.
But I saw some of the pictures you guys were posting, some of the merch, the hoodies and stuff. It looks phenomenal.
I'm glad you like it.
Looks
We're
really
gonna bring
good. I
all this
really
stuff.
like the design.
Yeah, like we want to do something, wanted to do something colorful, and like the purple thing, I think it works really well as well. It's something new, and yeah, I'm glad you like it.
It's going to be
So
successful.
we'll bring everything to Toronto.
Please do. We're one of the first stops on the tour, so sometimes it sucks when we're like at the tail end of the tour, because then when the bands show up here, there's like nothing. You guys are pretty much at that point selling like pictures of yourselves or something like that, because
Yeah, no,
people
no,
run out of shit.
we have a pretty elaborated restocking system, like the guy we work with in the US. Like everything is, you have all the sizes that sell out, and like every 5 shows or so, we can restock, so everything is available, and people can get everything they want, and nothing is sold out.
That is amazing. Now, are you
Taken
guys
care
going to
of.
be selling some of the vinyls as well in CDs for the new record?
CDs, definitely vinyls. I think we have some in the US shop that we will sell too. That's something I cannot say for sure because like shipping is insanely expensive. But we have some vinyls in the US shop already, and I think we're gonna bring some of the new record to on tour.
One last question for you is with this tour that you guys are going to be embarking on in North America, with the album now coming out January 24th, how much of this record is going to take your set list?
And on the US tour, to be honest, we didn't discuss this yet. We're gonna play the release shows next week. We're gonna play 4 songs plus the cover because Patrick is gonna come with us. And we have a, I think we have a 1 hour set in the US, so we have to cut it short a bit, but at least 2 songs, maybe 3. Let's see.
All right, something to look forward to.
Yeah, we want to play
Matthias,
something different than the last tour, you know? That's
yeah, because you guys were here a year ago, so you got to switch it up a little bit.
exactly.
Got to switch it up a little bit. Looking forward, man, to seeing you in Toronto at the Velvet Underground once again in such great company of Ghost Bath and Swallow the Sun. Dude, congratulations on Scorched Earth coming out January 24th on AOP Records. Like I said earlier, best sounding album that you guys have ever released. I honestly think
Thank
this
you so
might
much.
be your best record to date. I know every band always says that, but
Thank you so much. Means a lot.
this one, don't listen to what my son says. This is the best record you guys have ever done.
Thanks, and I'm really glad you enjoyed it. And looking forward to see you in Toronto then.
All right, man. All the
Man,
best.
always a pleasure talking to you, man.
Same here. Same here.
Always
Thank
good.
you.
All right, man.